Good morning, boat race fans. Hey, I want to thank you for coming back to the channel. I got a little something else to share with you here on props. Had 2 videos come out so far, but this is the continuation of that prop series. And yeah, I want to invite you into my little editing office, and we'll look around, show you what we're going to be looking at this time. All right, let's go in the house. All right, well, let's see, what were we working on last time? I think it was this prop right here. We were showing how to measure and template and how I do that. But I've got some video that I filmed earlier on this little prop. It's one that was kind of the next one in line that I wanted to finish. It's a little AB Yamato wheel that I had started. Let's move to this one and I'll show you some of the video on that. So let's edit that, put it on the front of number 3. And again, welcome back. Thank you for coming. Sure appreciate the interest in the channel. All right, in making this video, I'm going to kind of show you some of the process of making the videos, I guess, in front of going out to the garage and working on this prop. But this is some of the footage that I've got that I wanted to show you on building this little wheel, this little AB wheel. So yeah, I thought I'd show you the process a little bit of how I edit videos before we go to the garage and work on that. One of the first things I do, of course, is I look at the camera. I've got Hero Black 9, and then I'll go to the file structure, GoPro, and here they are. This is the raw footage that that shows up, and I'll move some of those to the video editor. And the way to do that is, of course, go back into the video editor, add files, go to the one that I want to add. Let's see, I've got the first 3 in there, so let's just choose that one and say go. So it's adding the files, it's putting them up in the editor area here, and then you can pull them down from this down into the editor to show them. But right now it's indexing that video. It's looking at it and saying, okay, it's taking it into the program so it can use it in its own format. So this is some of the stuff that is kind of boring and takes quite a while. If you get a lot of video on the camera, it takes a while to get all that stuff downloaded and put together. So part of the what would you call it, uncreative part of making videos. But I want to share that with you and show you a little bit about where we're going. I'll let this load up, and then we'll get back into the video itself. All right, here we come back into the shop. Turned off a little bit cool this morning. Yeah, I had to turn my little heater on this morning in the shop, get it lit and warm us up a little bit. So yeah, let's turn around here and start looking at what we're going to do on this little Yamato prop. I guess the right thing to do is go ahead and start cutting it down. Kind of know where I want to be as far as the cut on it. And I've already done this front edge. You can see it matches the template. So I got to do this back edge. I'm getting old enough now to where I've got my $2 Walmart close-up glasses that I wear. I found out that I build better props when I can see. That's kind of interesting theory, but it's one I'm working with. It's got plenty of diameter. In fact, a 80 really can't use a full 7-inch blade like this. I might make it either thinner or turn the end up. I've been toying with the idea of turning the end up. In fact, I did on one of my props. Let's see, where is it? Yeah, this one. And it worked really well. You can see it's got a little bit. Let me see if I can get some kind of a reference here. Got a little bit of a turn. There we go. You can see it got a little bit of a turned up end on it. And what I think that'll do is I'm working on tip vortex problems. You know, one of the big issues on any propeller drag off the back end, which is cavitation. So with the angle that I'm using, when I bend it, I don't bend it straight on the arc line. I bend it with the front end out just a little bit, so it'll gather some of the what would normally come out behind a tip vortice and bring it back into the prop. So that's kind of my idea about doing that. And don't know if I'm gonna end up doing that or not, but as you see, I've got that drawn out here on the prop as well, that I may take the end of it and bring it up. But what I want to do is I want to prove that theory. And you know, it takes testing. You got to have somebody, or you got to have the time to go out there and try something and change it and go back and try it again. And you know, we don't do that much testing. We really should. But I am going to take a prop that go out, and I know an established established prop that I know the numbers on, and maybe turn the ends up. And this would be a good one to do here. So once I get this one to where I feel like that it's good and consistent, I've got my speed out of it, I've got what I want, develop it a little bit more. I may have to end up taking some of this off and straightening that out, because it's really odd for a curve to go backwards like that. But I did want a thin end so I could run a lot of pitch on it and still spin it. So that's the idea. Like I say, creating something that'll come off the turns a little harder, keep the RPMs up in the turns. So what I may do, like I say, I may use this one as my test bed on the turn it up ends. Probably will, because it's a very large diameter prop, and it's probably a little bit more than a Yamato needs. And anyway, that may be my guinea pig for that. But as I talked about before, I've seen some interest expressed in going through a prop build, and I say build, a tuning that I do. So I think I'll do that with this prop right here. I've already got a start on it. I showed you that earlier in the video. I've already got a start of cutting this first blade to where I think it might be the right thing, and I'm gonna look at that a little bit more, and then we'll proceed on. I'll show you what I do as far as reworking one and changing it to where I think it'll work better. All right, let's go over here to the grinder and look and see what how we're going to do this. So what I like to do is I've got a bench grinder here that's got a rough stone and of course a finer stone, but I normally work on the rough stone because anything that I want to do over here, I'm doing kind of rough shaping. Something that I want to turn that thing off a minute. Something I want to tell you too is I'm not worried about quenching this prop. So when it gets hot like that, close to my template, I'll dunk it in the water a little bit and cool it off, because I'm not too worried yet about the temper. That will temper it. That'll make it hard. But I know I'm going to heat treat this prop when I get done. So I don't mind quenching it a little bit in a bucket of water to keep my template from burning up. Something I like to do when I'm cutting these props down is I like to finish the back of the blade off 90 degrees from the surface. So out here it's going to be pretty well flat because it's pretty flat, but as you come up in here, that angle is going to come up a little bit. This prop is cut back quite a bit from factory, so it's got a relieved edge there, and that's fine too. Since it's that way, I may do the same thing out here on this edge, is maintain that little bit of a cut back relief. to get too aggressive. I don't want to overcut the blade. I think I can finish that one out with handwork. So that's probably all I need to do on that one. Might be good to get me a paper towel and dry that off. I don't know if it'll matter much when you move the template for it to be wet or not, but makes a little bit of sense to me. But all right, let's move to the next one. I've already got it marked out. I could probably just do that. I think I will. I'll cut it down close and then put the template on it so I don't have to worry about heat quite as much. Let's get that done. Oh, I wanted to tell you something too. Sometimes when I'm cutting a lot of a prop off, I'll use a bandsaw and I'll cut it there pretty close so that I can save the pieces. Let me show you what I'm talking about. When I cut a prop down, I'll save the metal. You know, here's some stuff. This is one that I cut quite a bit off of. So instead of grinding it down, now I've got a little bit of metal. If I want to do something with, I can add to a prop. I mean, this is a whole blade that I've cut off, and I've used parts of it. But yeah, like when I'm cutting a big one off, I'll save that metal rather than grinding it off. But let's get back to finishing this thing. Burn my mark away, so I'm going to quit there and I'll go back with the template to finish that off, because I don't want to overcut it again to where you end up with a shorter blade than what you want. I can take a little bit more off. All right, so what we got there, we're pretty close. I know that mark has burned back a little bit, right? So it shows that it's nothing on the end there to cut off that I should go all the way to that back line. But I know since it's been burned off that the line that I made. Well, thanks for coming by, guys. I really enjoyed this video, this number 3. Number 4, what we'll be doing is we'll be thinning that same little Yamato 80 prop. And maybe you can pick up on a few things as to how I do the thinning that'll help you in the future. Talk to you after a while.
I'm meeting my buddies out on the lake. We're headed out to a special place we love, and just a few folks know. There's no signing up, no monthly dues. Take your Johnson, your Mercury, or your Evan Root. Fired up, beat us out at Party Cove. Come on in, the water's fine. Just idle on over and toss us a line. Fast tractors, mail liners, and a party barge strung together like a floating trailer park. Anchored out and getting loud all summer long. Side to side there's 5-house boat front porches, astroturf lawn chairs and tiki torches. Regular Joes rocking the boat, that's us, the Redneck Yacht Club. Picking out the girls on the upper deck, rubbing in the 15 SPF.